eat my shorts.
Hey everybody, welcome to Eat My Shorts podcast. This is the podcast where I take your childhood and I slap you in the face with it. I'm your host, Justin Reich, and on this episode, we have a guest. That's right. On this episode, we have TJ Stoneking, VWC ring commentator, and also the podcast host of How Is This Fake podcast. Yep. And he goes on with me for about 40 minutes or so. We go back and forth with nerd things and history of all of his, how he got into local wrestling and what the future looks like. Found out some cool stuff. They're going to be at WrestleCon, so you can find them, their podcast going, stuff like that. So give them a follow, give them a like. Before we get into everything today, I want to say thank you guys so much for the enthusiasm and for you guys listening to the show again. It's been real great coming at you week by week. This is an early episode. We're going to try to stick to every Mondays, but you know what? I'm just going to release them as I do them. We have some great interviews coming up and can't wait. So we have some local wrestlers are getting lined up. We have Retro Gorilla is going to be coming on, which is a store nearby in Lake Elsinore. So we're going to get to check them out. So many others are going to be on the show, and Kaz, who is the TNA hype man. So we're going to get to talk with him. He'll be on the next week's episode as well. And then this week, if you're listening here on Friday, this Sunday is VWC in Wildemar. Yep. Valley Wrestling Connections going to be hosting an event in Wildemar, California. You can check them out at valleywrestlingconnection.com. You can order your tickets there and come see me do some commentary. Come boo Mike Wexler and check out TJ Stoneking, plus all the action from the wrestlers, as Honest John will be showing up as the VWC King of the Valley champion, and what will happen between him and 5-Star and all that stuff. So come check that out. You can check them out. And then, like I said, Retro Gorilla local store, you can check them out at Retro Gorilla on Instagram, or I think they have a website. I'll have to check that out. I wasn't planning on, I wasn't really prepared for all that, but to give out the info, but we have some cool stuff. Oh, and we have the Temecula Ren Fair coming up, which is really cool. So Temecula Ren Fair, Maya, who is the coordinator for the event, will be on the show. So we're going to have her on and we're going to talk about Ren Fair stuff. And also, before we get into TJ Stoneking, I want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's gone viral on TikTok for me. So I have a video of my blacksmith work. Got a lot of critique for how I was holding the handle of the hammer. Here's the thing. You had to hold two hands. Dragon Forge Experience, it only runs in Arizona Ren Fair and also for the North Carolina Ren Fair, as far as I know. Hopefully they come out to more Ren Fairs. But yeah, you basically pay for the experience and you get to create your own either dagger, knife. You can make a pendant. I saw them make wands. It's a really cool experience. Very affordable. You can check them out, Dragon Forge Experience, and I'm trying to get them to come onto the show. And then, yeah, so I got a lot of crap on the video because I had to use two hands, and it's a requirement by Dragon Forge Experience. It's required. So I don't typically hold handles like that. I was doing it for safety. My stance was what they told me to do. Excuse me, try not to burp. My stance was what they told me to do. They told me to hold the hammer a certain way and hit it when he told me to. And everyone's like, well, you're not really forging. And there's a lot of comments that were very negative. And let me just say this. Don't take it so seriously, man. It was fun. I got a railroad spike, and here is the railroad spike that I got to make into a dagger. And this is the final result. You got to pick like what you stamped in. You could leave it blank, for a cheaper cost, but I opted for a little more so I could stamp a skull into the top, and then you twist the railroad spike and then sharpen the end, you hammer the end down. You can see where the hammering all was. And then what happens is after you forge it, they will sharpen it and make it pretty for you. And then they give you a sheath. And I painted the sheath myself with some green leather paint because I prefer green. I like the forest green look. So yeah, so this guy, and I named him Draconis, which is dragon. I believe it's Viking. Yeah, but Draconis is his name, so it's pretty cool. And then we have this guy. Oh, sorry. I got myself a Viking axe, which is pretty damn cool. And yes, I'm going to take the blade out so you guys can see it. It's legit. It's just not fully sharpened, but got myself a Viking axe. I don't know if that makes me more manly, that I'm carrying around a Viking axe, but don't mess with me. Do you understand? Don't mess with me. It's not a threat. I'm just saying, don't mess with me. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, no, Dragon Forge experience at the Arizona Ren Fair was really awesome. You can check out some of my videos on TikTok. And while I'm at it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give me a like, give me a comment, give me a hug. Like me on TikTok and all that, but also for the podcast. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, hit the subscribe button. Follow the podcast and leave me a 5-star rating. Leave some comments and interact with me. I think that would be huge. If you're listening on Spotify, same thing. You can leave comments under each episode. You can give me a rating on there. Also hit that follow button. So when the new episodes are coming out, and also on YouTube. I'm trying to push the YouTube out. Don't have a lot of crazy views there. My shorts are doing pretty okay. Like the Eat My Shorts podcast shorts on YouTube are doing fine and get a nice amount of views there. But I'd like for the full podcast, these videos that I'm showing you, to actually grow and get out there. So please give me a follow and a subscribe. And yeah, that'll be it. So first, I just want to say TJ was awesome on the show, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. And I want to say, if you are interested on being on the Eat My Shorts podcast and hanging out with me, talking all the geek stuff, talking about all of the toy collecting world, pro wrestling world, whatever you geek out for, I'm down to talk. And we have some great shows coming out for you. So excited about all that and the growth of the show. And yeah, well, that's about it. So get ready. TJ Stoneking coming at you. We're recording. Nice. What's up, man?
Nada.
No? Yeah, just living your best life.
Living my best life. There's some pizzas going in the oven once we're done with this. And,
nice.
Just doing my wrestling thing, working,
yeah. Well, for anyone listening, I've got TJ from How Is This Fake podcast, and also our ring announcer at Valley Wrestling Connection. I always forget the last C. You think I'm the commentator. I just forget Connection.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
I think I do think Connection is cooler than like Championship or whatever. Like,
yeah, no, it's different.
Yeah,
no, James is a different fellow. He's a different guy. He, his title's called the King of the Valley, and I didn't even know I lived in a valley until he named it that. So I was a little like, oh, okay, I live in a valley. Cool, King of the Valley.
So you're not geographically astute.
No, not when it comes to like Elsicor and Wildemar. Like, I guess now I realize I'm in a valley because I see mountains over there, and then I look down and there's mountains that way, and I'm like, I'm in the biggest valley ever. But yeah, I get it.
You know, it's all right. We're all here because we're not all there.
Yeah, that's all good. So you've been doing this podcast. How is this fake? How long have you been doing it?
Oh, it started right before, like the week before WrestleMania 40.
Oh, right on. So not very long, just a couple of years.
Just a couple of years. Yeah.
What made you guys want to do it?
Well, it was originally just me. I was at the time I was a stay-at-home dad, and I needed something to do. And I'd always loved wrestling, and like people knew that I liked wrestling, but I never really had an outlet, and I never really had a lot of like buddies who were into it. So I figured I got nothing to lose and I got time to kill. So went on Amazon and I bought this dummy mic that literally stopped working 2 days ago.
Yeah, it does that. Yeah. I've gone through like 4 mics. They just, I don't know what, they build them to break, I think.
I know. That's how they get you.
That's how they get me.
But
they have half my money.
Yeah, that's how it started. But I will tell you this: so I know the name is kind of unique. That actually started because on my personal Instagram page, I would share like reels and stuff to my story
Yeah.
of like someone doing a really cool move that looked really awesome, or like something where like Kenny Omega's fighting the Invisible Man or whatever. And I
Yeah.
would always caption it, no matter what it said. I would say, "How is this fake?" And so when I decided to do the podcast, I was trying to think of a name, and I said, "You know what? This is right in front of me." So that's where it came from.
I kind of agree with you. How is wrestling fake? Because it's not. I've done it. It hurts.
Right.
Even
Yeah.
if you wrestle yourself, it's gonna hurt. So
Yeah.
it isn't fake. That's the thing. Is I think people who watch wrestling tend to assume it's like it's performative and it's like on a trampoline, and then they get in the ring and then they realize it's just plywood with just like a little bit of cushion. Uh, the ropes typically are cable wrapped in electrical tape. Like, it's not fun in there. Like, it is
No.
and it isn't. Like, it's you know it, it,
I went to a wrestling school one time,
oh yeah.
and
Who
I'm
did you
not gonna
train
say
with?
where any I'm
Oh,
not
come
gonna say.
on. No.
I'm not
No,
gonna
no.
say.
Is
No,
it that bad?
I got something good going on
Did
here,
someone
okay?
touch you?
No,
that
no.
happens too.
Oh, well, so we're doing the workout, and it's time to get in the ring, and he's like, "Go ahead." And I got there early because I was like, "I'm gonna be the next big thing, obviously."
Oh yeah.
So
No, we all think
so,
that.
yeah. So I showed up early, and he's like, "Okay, hit the ropes. Let me see what you got." He didn't even ask me if I'd ever done it before. So, dude, I step in the ring, and I'm trying not to cry, right? Because I'm like marking out internally, and I hit the ropes, dude. And at the time, this was probably 2017 or 18,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, man, who's like the guy? Brock Lesnar's probably like the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, so the night before I watched some Lesnar tapes, he's taking like 2 steps to get from rope to rope. I'm like, okay, so we're maximizing our run here. So I hit the ropes, dude. Instant pain, dude. I wanted to
Oh
die. And then, so I made it through that. The class gets there. Then we're doing somersaults. We're starting to do like drills in
yeah.
the ring. I did one somersault, dude, and I thought I was gonna die because my back hit the mat.
Oh yeah. No.
But nobody touched me. Nobody did. I didn't jump. I literally just somersaulted like a toddler, and
Yeah,
the
dude.
pain. Oh,
I
never.
feel you. No, the first time I ever got into a ring, I was used to a trampoline. My whole teenagehood, we had a trampoline in my backyard, and
Yeah.
I get into a wrestling ring the first time, and the first thought is it's a little bouncy, so I just back bumped it, and I was my whole soul left my body. I was like,
Did you tuck
"Ugh."
the chin? Did you tuck the chin?
I knew better to do that, but because I backyard wrestled a lot, like I knew to tuck in, to protect the neck. But just I didn't breathe, and so all the wind just
Yeah.
just left my body. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No. First time in that ring, dude. That's like how does Steve Austin say it? Come to Jesus meeting.
Yeah.
You realize how tough it is. So you're right,
Yeah,
man.
I'm a way better fan, and I'm a way better non-athletic
Oh yeah.
uh, contributor to whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
No, that's, so look, you got into podcasting and all that. So how did you get into VWC? Like, how did you end up being the ring announcer for VWC?
I know, dude. It's not something I tried to do, but probably less than a year ago, actually.
Yeah, it's about that. Yeah.
I Yeah, less than a year ago, I started going to indie shows just to try to meet more wrestling fans, honestly, just to try to grow the podcast. And the first one I went to, I really liked, and I didn't talk to anybody, but I messaged the people and I said, "Hey, this is totally awesome." It was Dream Slam, by the way. I don't know why I'm not saying the name. So I go to the Dream Slam show, and it was totally rad, and I did like a recap of it on the podcast, and then went to the next show, and I said, like, I would love to have someone on to like help plug it. and that person ended up being Jarrell.
Hmm.
And so, one thing led to another, and they needed a commentator one day because someone didn't show up, and I was there doing nothing. Let's put this guy on.
I
Yes.
think it was
No, it
me.
wasn't. No, it wasn't you. It wasn't
No.
you. So I ended up doing commentary with Wexler, believe it or not,
Oh, you
and
poor guy. You
he
poor
he
guy.
made me do play by play my first time. I was like, okay,
Dude, I'm
and
not, I've been doing it now for 2 years and I can't, I hate doing play by play. Like,
no,
I was so
there's
happy
too
they
many
brought
moves.
Graham in recently because I'm like, I forget my brain doesn't move fast enough for calling moves all the time, So, like,
Yeah,
I'll be all,
or
I do
you
the
know,
what a maneuver. I'll use that line. What a maneuver,
oh
Like,
man. Yeah,
but
they move too fast sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta let them go, and you just gotta lay out because what am I supposed to do?
dude,
I'm taking away from whatever lightning moves you want to do in there.
when I was a kid, man, it was Jesse Ventura, Bobby Heenan. Those were like the commentators I idolized. So when I came on to do this, that was what I thought. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be the Bobby Heenan. I'm gonna be the guy who just
Yeah.
says the one-liners, makes fun of shit. I'll let the other guys do all the hard work. And then James is all, hey, it's just gonna be you for a minute. And I was like, oh crap. I was like, I
Well,
gotta.
were you doing that in post production a little bit, huh?
Yeah, well, the first couple times because they had what was SoCal Wrestling TV for a while. Um,
Yeah.
they were working with VWC, so I would go to the live shows then, and then I wasn't really available to be like on the weekends. My job was like crazy, so James asked, "Is there a way I could do it post?" And so he would send me the files, and I'd do it from here. So I'd be watching it in my room, and everyone in the house is just laughing because I'm going, "Whoa, what a maneuver!" And I'm like yelling in the room, and everyone's like, "What are you doing in there?" And I'm like, "Commentary."
Like, what a suplex. Damn it, I gotta redo it.
Damn
Ugh.
it, no. I'm all done. Stupid. Yeah,
I've
no.
watched
And
this arm drag 3 times in a row.
I'm sure they have a breakdown recording of me going, I can't do
Oh
this.
my god. That's awesome.
But yeah, dude. So no,
Well,
VWC has
well,
been an adventure.
it has been, and you're looking to make a little return there. So, well, maybe not a return to the ring a little bit.
I'm training. My doctor told me to hold off for like the last month, so they're probably wondering where the hell I went. And here's the thing, and I got to defend myself on this. The last night I was there, I almost puked because they had me doing like running against the ropes, doing these rolls, and I did it like 20 times in a row or some shit. Honest John is the trainer, by the way. Um, and it's a great school. I'm not insulting it, but dude, I'm out of shape. I'm a big guy and I'm not like fucking svelte and I'm not a gazelle in there. So
You're
they're having
not
me,
who you once were.
even then, I don't think I could have done this. Like even at 25, Justin Wright could not have done this, but I did it. Got through it. I went to puke. That was the end of the class, and then I haven't been back. So everyone's like, "Where the fuck were you?" And I had a health issue, so my doctor just said lay off on physical activity for like a month till I can go back, which is tomorrow. Actually, yeah, I got to go back
Nice.
tomorrow. And if they clear me, then I'm gonna go back to training. But my goal is to have one more match, and I want it to be with Wexler. I would love to spear him and powerbomb him.
Can I manage you?
Oh, dude, you can ref that match. So you could be right up in there and count that 3. Ugh. Just the commentator. We'll just do like a pre-show match, to hype up the crowd.
I've said this. I don't think I've ever said it seriously, but I'll say it seriously here right now. Mike Wexler has more heat than anyone in VWC,
Yeah.
and that would be a main event match. I'm sorry.
I promise you, I know this. I've been bugging Mike for 2 years now to make a damn fucking t-shirt. I told him a Boo Mike t-shirt. We would all wear one. I
wouldn't buy one. I would wear one.
I'll tell you right now. You know that I started the Boo Mike movement 2 years ago,
Yes.
right? That was my fault,
Yes.
right? And I don't know how because I don't go to the other indie shows. So the fact that it's even carried on and at like Santino Bros and all these other shows, it's hilarious to me. I think because Mike embraces it now. I think he actually had a problem with it at first. I think he was a little like, oh, butt hurt, and whenever I went to a show, it was like 2 shows after and he wouldn't talk to me. And I was just like, oh, dude, like he's actually fucking hurt that he goes out there and the crowd just mercifully boos him just by seeing his face. And I told him, I was like, dude, that's money. Like in wrestling, dude, heat is money. Like make a fucking shirt. So, Mike, if you're fucking watching, make a shirt, dude.
Let me make this point to you right now. We just spent probably 2.5 minutes talking about Mike Wexler. He's not even here. Unprovoked, we did it. And then I made the same point to Miggy on one of our last episodes because we were doing the same thing.
He's got heat, dude.
It was. I think Jarrell was on with us, and we were talking about how much we just can't stand the guy.
But
and
can you imagine the pop of the guy? Imagine the pop though that the audience would have if he got speared by somebody.
So do you think? Let's say you pin Wexler 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Place erupts. Is that really going to be your last match after that kind of pop? Are you going to want to quit?
I don't know that I could top it right now. I'm an old man compared to all these kids, dude. Like, I'm not going to go in there with like Kid Destino and fucking have a back and forth. Like, I'm already wheezing thinking about it. Like, like I can't get in there with that, dude.
I love that you mentioned Kid Destino. I've told him before, and he said that people have told him this. I don't even care. He reminds me of Ricky Steamboat.
The kid is smooth, dude.
Oh,
Destino,
mullet?
Yeah, like just fire. Like the kid's got it. He's got it. Same with Ortiz. What's his name? Is it Ortiz? Mustache kid. The kid with the mustache and the curly Q and the mustache, long hair. He's from Santino Bros as well. Is it Chris?
Is he on a tag team?
No, he's not a tag team. I think
Oscar Felix?
Is it Felix?
Yeah,
I think it's Oscar Felix, not Ortiz.
Yes.
It's another guy. Yeah. No, Oscar Felix and Kid Destino are my favorite to watch. Like genuinely. Like when those two guys wrestle, I'm like, that's the future of SoCal wrestling and beyond. I could see them getting signed.
Oscar Felix, known on our show as the king of the Wi-Fi. Long story. But he's definitely my top 5 favorite wrestlers to watch out here.
How do you like the main event guys at VWC? How do you feel about 5-star and like Honest John? I mean, he's the veteran, but I'm talking about the guys coming up behind Honest John. You know what I mean? Like, how do you feel about 5-star? Truthfully,
5-star, dude. If he doesn't, there would have to be something that cataclysmically goes wrong somewhere. I think if he is not like someone who the whole world knows about. The
charisma on that kid. The charisma on him.
Dude, I was at the VWC last night. I was at the gym. There's purple stars all over the floor everywhere.
There's
confetti still. They can't even get it. They can't.
So my last show, 2 shows ago, I kind of criticized it with the confetti in the middle of the match. I don't know why. It's my preference. I like gritty matches, and I felt like
that was one of the first times I'd seen him do that.
Yeah, he did it during the Honest John, and at one time, okay, I could get it. Like at the opener dive, cool, do it. But he did it several times, and if I as a wrestling fan saw that multiple times for a match, I'd be like, he doesn't take it seriously. He's not angry enough by the end of this match, So psychology wise, I'm sitting there watching, going, I don't like the glitter. You know what I mean? Like I was like, one time, cool, but when you're getting beat up,
it's it kind of. I wonder if he would do that in a show that wasn't geared toward kids.
That's what I'm curious about. I'd like to see him somewhere else. I've only seen him at VWC, so it's like I'd like to follow him a little bit and see other matches he's had. But I will say this, dude, his match with Honest John was phenomenal. That was one of the best matches I've seen live in a long time.
I don't think I've ever seen him put on a bad match. And he's been every card that I've been to since I started going to all the indie shows, like he's been on most of them.
Yeah, Lancaster too is another guy.
I love Joey Lancaster.
He's got aura. That kid owns the room. He walks in, the room just shuts down. They pay attention to him. He's got, who he reminds me of, and it sounds weird because he's nothing like him, but the aura of Triple H. When Triple H would come in, the wet hair, the tough guy, and he owned the room. That is the vibe I get from him.
And dude, he comes with his own spotlight.
I know. I can't even get one of those. I asked, just one.
I sent entrance music, by the way, just in case.
Yeah,
just in case. Never heard it.
No, We don't get entrances. We should. In WWE, the announcing crew gets entrances, just so you know.
I get summoned to the ring every single show. I can spend 7 seconds to some music
I'm
walking
just
out.
saying. I'm just saying, man. What's your song? What do you got?
Hollow by Alice in Chains.
Nice, dude. That's a good one. That's a damn good one. Yeah.
Is it?
No.
You know that song? It's okay. You don't have to. You don't gotta let it kick it.
How dare you, bro? How
Do you
dare you?
really know?
Yes. Here, I'm gonna fucking jam it right now. I'm gonna have fucking YouTube block us off right now. How dare you?
I'm gonna know it in 2 minutes.
I'm gonna learn it all. No. I love Alice in Chains. I guess I know the most famous one, Rooster. You know, everyone knows that one. No, I like Alice in Chains. Sad story. That's a whole sad thing. You know.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm not going to the beach listening to Alice in Chains.
No, that's depression music. You know, it's like Stained for me. You know, like when you feel sad, girlfriend breaks up with you, you're on drugs. You know, that kind of stuff. You know, you listen to them. It's fine. It is what it is.
That did happen when my girlfriend broke up with me and I was on drugs.
Wait, really? That's all. Let's get into that. No. So, all right, let's get back into TJ land for a second. So, where did your love for pro wrestling start?
Oh, dude, when I was a kid, my earliest memory of anything, dude, it was Sting descending from the rafters, beating the crap out of the
So you'd
NWO.
say about 1997, would you say?
Yeah, probably, because I was born in '94, so that get about 3-4 years old at the time.
Yeah.
And my dad would always have I called it Muscles at the time when I was that little. He would always have that on. I didn't watch WWF for whatever. I don't know if it's because my parents didn't want me.
Are you from California?
Yeah.
So you were from this area, I assume.
Oh yeah.
So and you saw WCW first. That's interesting because usually that's a southern thing, you know.
It is, and I don't know. I don't know why my dad, because my dad's not necessarily a wrestling fan. Like I remember my grandpa saying that he took my dad and uncle to go see Sergeant Slaughter against somebody one time. But he can never remember who the other guy was, which kills me as a wrestling fan because I would love to know. But yeah, I don't know. I just remember me and my dad watching WCW, and I never really looked back. I had all the action figures that are now worth, $75 a piece. I used to have all of them, and I threw them away one day.
Oh yeah. I encourage you to recollect, man. Just get on eBay and start getting them. That's what I did. I'm heavy right now on fucking VHSs.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm collecting all of the, when you went to the video store as a kid, that's the look.
I do have a whole storage unit full of vinyl records though. So I do collect that.
So other than Alice in Chains, what's TJ's playlist?
Dude, right now, I got to be honest. I've been listening to just the Grateful Dead for probably.
I never listened to them. I couldn't even tell you that one. I couldn't even tell you.
It's a tough sell because you have to. It has to find you. I'm not telling you to not listen to it, but it's they're. I don't know if you know anything about them, but they're a very unique band, and they're not like any other kinds of bands.
I like the ice cream, Cherry Garcia.
It's a great ice cream.
It's good, dude. That's my favorite.
It's
just a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of cherry.
Why don't they add cherry to more ice cream?
I don't fucking know, dude. I fucking love maraschino cherries inside ice cream.
Every single candy is cherry flavor. Why not throw it in ice cream?
Dude, you're preaching to the choir. Okay, I would even say Ben and Jerry's. I'm gonna look right at the camera. Ben and Jerry's. If this somehow ends up on your feed, I don't know how it would, but if it does, more cherries and Cherry Garcia. Give me a double variation. Sorry.
Ooh, cherry
Garcia. Just give me an immense amount of fucking cherries. That's what I want.
You could just put this on one of those VHS tapes and mail it to Vermont, and they would. That's what I'm sure they would see that.
I have my trusty VHS right here, VCR right here.
You just recorded over the Rumble 97.
What the fuck? That was a $75 VHS, bro.
That was my last physical copy of a Chris Benoit match.
Damn it! No, I don't have one thing of Benoit anymore. I just felt guilty with that.
Yeah.
Did yeah.
I don't go. I don't have anything of his. I used to have an action figure.
Well, you're a WCW fan. You must have loved him at some point.
Well. So eventually, I did obviously get over to WWE. It probably like there were a couple years there after WCW folded where I wasn't really watching anything that I remember. But dude, when Batista and Orton and Cena and Lesnar, when they were all starting to come up, dude, I got right back in. So
Oh, so you were the 2002 Ruthless Aggression type era.
yeah, I would say, dude, honestly, like I was born in '94. I know this is, a throwback podcast, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't consider myself a '90s kid because
No, yeah, I
in
wouldn't.
the year 2000, I
Yeah.
wasn't even 6.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. No, my brother's your age. I'm 10 years older than you, so I was born in 84. So I'm a 90s kid. I don't consider
Yeah.
myself an 80s kid at all. Do I like 80s stuff? Yeah, I like the music. I think it's great music, Aha, Take on Me and all that jazz. Like I fucking love it. But 90s were my, because I was alive through the whole thing. 1990, 99, I experienced everything from grunge to Beck to MTV, Beavis and Butthead, Wayne's World, all that stuff, and then wrestling was just epic in the 90s. Like you had superhero wrestling. You had Ultimate Warrior, like, there it is. You got Warrior, dude, Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 6, tearing the shirt.
How did you survive as a wrestling fan like 91 to 90 until Austin? How'd you do that?
So here's the thing with WWF, I loved the superhero era. And then when I remember it very vividly that when the steroid trial happened, because my dad talked about it a lot. He was just talking about how Vince McMahon was going to go to jail. And I'd be watching Superstars on Saturday and he's just like, that guy's going to jail soon. And I'm going, why? Like I'm little. I'm like 8, 9 years old going, why? Why is the announcer going to, and he's like, that's the owner of the WWF. And I'm all, oh, it's not. I go, Jack Tunney's the president. This guy's just the announcer. I'm a kid arguing. And then Bret Hart got my attention because I love the Hart Foundation. So when Bret won the world title, that was where I was like, oh, I'm all in on the Hitman. And then Hulk Hogan and all of them went away. Hulk Hogan went to WCW. And I'd say the reason I survived the 90s was Bret Hart, Undertaker, so I got to go to WrestleMania 12. And that kind of stuck me through the middle of the 90s. And then Austin, just fucking Stone Cold. I mean, who didn't love fucking Austin and The Rock? Those two guys just were everything. And, it made wrestling cool. I got made fun of for my Bret Hart shirt, but I went to school with Stone Cold shirt. Everyone was like, oh yeah.
My dad loves that guy.
Hell yeah.
Because every dad at that time was just sitting at home drinking a Budweiser,
hating on their boss,
just pissed off,
just wanting to beat the shit out of their boss. Fucking Greg didn't give me that raise. What?
That is a great Stone Cold, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I spent a lot of time by myself in my bedroom in front of a mirror. So what most wrestlers do though, when guys want to be pro wrestlers, they tend to stand alone in a room in front of a mirror cutting promos.
Okay, so let me ask you: when you have a commentating gig, you're heading on down to VWC. What are you doing in the car on the way there? You raw dogging it, just
I raw
sitting
dog.
in silence.
I raw dog now, dude. Like it's just in my head. Like I just know I'm gonna see Wexler. The crowd gets me excited. I'm gonna see them booing him, and then the music starts, and then I'm in. You know what I mean? Like I just I feel the vibe out. If the show's dead, you might get a more subdued version of me, but I feel like the crowds are getting more like amped up at VWC. It's like it's a stapled crowd, so they're all coming in, and it's getting packed, which is cool.
The last show was a total success, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't run the business, so don't ask me.
No,
but I mean, if you from a fan perspective, I mean, yeah, finally got a new champ. I'm excited to see what he does this weekend.
Yeah, it's what, Sunday? Do you know the time, by the
Sunday.
way? I'm going to get on them about that, dude. I'm seeing 10 a.m.
Bella's at 5.
I saw 10 a.m. on the Facebook invite. I got to get on Mr. James there. I was like, 10 a.m., dude. That's a
No.
Sunday, bro. No.
I even told them because they were like, "Hey, we got you locked in for the first, right?" And I said, I have so I get up at 2:30 every morning to go to work. So I told him, I was like, if you start it early on Sunday, I'll be there. But I'm not doing this, I physically will be asleep.
Can't be at 10 p.m. start time.
No lucha time. We're already working on the Lord's Day,
Well, they can't run against the Elimination Chamber. That's just smart business right there.
I know. How much this is how much wrestling I'm doing between VWC and Dream Slam, the podcast and stuff. I didn't even know that Elimination Chamber was this weekend. How do I have a wrestling podcast where I talk about wrestling? I didn't even know that.
Dude, I don't know what's going on with WWE, but I'm kind of the same. I'm in the same, but I think it's because I can't afford them anymore. Like I can't afford to go to the shows. I can't afford the merchandise. Like, I mean, I got this shirt and I had to wait till it was on clearance. You know what I mean? Like I can't spend $50 a t-shirt anymore. No. It's just everything's expensive.
You already spent 10 grand on all that gold over there.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, this is acquired through eBay. I've only gotten like one through WWE Shop, and it's that fucker. And I think I'm still paying it off. And I've had it for like a year and a half.
Oh, hell no.
Dude, it's expensive.
Yeah, we're taking the podcast to Vegas. We got a booth at WrestleCon.
Did you really?
We did. We're there all 4 days, man. So we're gonna be sitting there. We're gonna try to do some live recording, but we're just trying to get the word out and stuff. And
maybe I need to get a booth on the other end.
Go for it, man.
I'll just be like, "Hey,
TJ." Yeah, I'm hoping to be next to like Ron Simmons or like Candice Michelle or something like that. We'll see. We'll see.
That's a large spectrum of hopes. It's either Ron Simmons or
I've met all these people at least once before, so I kind of have a good gauge on like the kind of person I want to sit next to for 4 days straight.
You don't want to sit next to Scott Steiner?
No, I do. And dude, that's funny. I would though. I actually would. I would bug the crap out of him because the Steiners versus Gordy and Steve Williams at Clash of the Champions 9 or 19, I can't remember. It's the last match of a tag team tournament, and it is the greatest tag team match of all time.
Is it really? I see. You might be a WCW encyclopedia, and I was a WWE kid. So we might have to do another show where we're kind of going back and forth on, like, comparing one show to the other.
I will shit all over WCW most of the time because nowadays I can't go back and watch it.
You can't watch WCW?
The ring is too small. The biggest storylines, especially in the 90s, dude, Hogan was phoning it in terms of the physicality. And I love it, right? Like I have 3 NWO shirts in my closet. Sting is my all-time favorite. Like I love WCW. But I mean, I don't know.
Dude, I tried watching a few Nitros on YouTube, the WWE Vault page, so you see kind of stuff.
Right.
Dude, Hogan looks like he's 7'5" in that little ring. Like every time he's standing in there, it's like it's a baby ring. And I've always just wondered, like, why didn't they had the money. Why not expand their ring? Like, why did they stick with that little ring?
I don't know. I don't know why they never did that because if you watch videos of like Raw or SmackDown, well, not SmackDown, that was a little bit later. But if you watch like Attitude Era Raws, that ring just made everything look better. Just the shape of it,
the production looked bigger. It looked better in WWE, whereas WCW looked like, I mean, it just
you really can compare AEW to WCW in terms of like maybe AEW's got a little bit more of an edge because they have
they got the Bucks.
They got the Bucks, and WCW did too, but they weren't really like given all that money, So that's why the Nitro set was always like a little bit smaller, and all the money dude was going to Kevin Nash,
and he was the booker, the fucker. That's the move right there, dude. That's the move. Get the pen, get the belt, get the show. That's the money.
Who wouldn't do that?
We all would. I would.
Can't blame the
I'd book
guy.
myself to beat everybody. I'd be hardcore Holly all over the place. Just me. Just book me up. Put every belt on me. I'm the man. That's what I want.
Let me ask you. So you mentioned Ultimate Warrior earlier. Is he like your goat? He's your guy.
He was the first guy to catch my eye as a kid, other than Macho Man. Like those kind of two. Like Hulk Hogan was everywhere, but
Right.
I was, Hulk Hogan. I saw him on TV, cartoon, when I was really little. But Ultimate Warrior shaking the ropes, and Macho Man, the whole like, ooh yeah, like the whole, his voice was so intoxicating that
Yeah.
it's just, he started talking and you were just like, you would just listen, to the TV just immediately. He'd get on there and be like, Ultimate Warrior, and he'd do the whole thing. And you're sitting there like, uh-huh.
It is shocking that a human being was just like, he's talking normal, and then he gets into character, and it's just like, and it's like he thought one day to himself, he's like, if I talk like this, that's gonna fucking work.
Have you ever seen dude, his documentary? His brother talked about how he stood on tippy toes because he wasn't as tall as the other guys. So he made that tippy toe walk his whole thing. So he looked taller in the ring. And if you watch the early Macho Man in the 80s, dude, he's on his tippy toes when he walks around the ring and everyone thinks he's doing that walk. It is literally him balancing, trying not to fall over, trying to look as tall as Hulk Hogan. It's like hilarious, dude.
Good old Patho.
I'm going to say this. We're running out of time because I have the cheap version of Zoom. So I'm going to.
Me too. I get it.
Yeah, I do the 40. I do the 40-minute deal. But what I'm going to ask you is what I'm asking everybody that's on this show is if you had to say what you geek out for and what you wished others did, what would it be? Like if you could spread a message of geekism, like, hey, I'm into this and I think you guys should be too. What is the thing?
I'm going to go a different direction than I've gone so far in the conversation. I'm going to say history. I'm a huge history geek, ancient history, American history, yesterday's news. It doesn't matter. I think it's important for us all to not even have an opinion, right? Like you don't need to learn something so you can have an opinion about it, but just to be aware so that if something were to happen today or, maybe we can just learn a little bit about ourselves by knowing what humans are old, man. We've been here thousands of years. It's not like we let's just look back at the books, see what happened. No big deal.
I wish people read
don't
more.
Do that thing that we did, whatever that thing was.
I'm not going to say what we shouldn't do again, but let's not do it again.
There's a list.
Seems pretty smart to me.
There's a Jericho list, but yeah, I geek out for history, bro.
I love it, dude. I love it.
Around.
All right. I love your message, dude. Well, thanks, TJ, for coming on the show, man.
Thanks for having me. It was a great time. Love the pod.
Hey, I appreciate it. If you guys want to follow TJ, what's your handle? Do you want to promo anything? We got 2 minutes.
Yeah, sure. You guys can follow How Is This Fake, the best pro wrestling podcast in my zip code. I think it's the only one. You can follow us at Instagram and TikTok at HITFPOD, HitFPod. And that's also our YouTube handle. You can just go to our channel there. That's where we upload the long form videos, half an hour plus wrestling conversations, plus documentaries that we make of all our events. But the TikTok and Instagram, that's mostly like shorts and reels and all that kind of good stuff.
Nice. I'm looking it up right now. HitPod, you said?
HitFPod.
Let's see. Hit.
Yeah, just the initials. How Is This Fake? And then pod.
All right. I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to subscribe right now. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. How Is This Fake? All right.
We're climbing. My co-host Miggy handles the TikTok. That's where a lot of our good stuff is. So I don't know.
Well, right on, man. Well, thanks for coming on, dude. And I will see you Sunday.
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
All right, bro. Chacho.
Later. Thanks, everyone.
Eat my shorts.